Hello everybody, welcome to the new semester. In this video, I just want to give you a quick overview of basics of navigating this course and how to get started in this course. With each new module, I'm going to post an overview video similar to this one that kind of goes over what to do in the module and in the unit. But for now, we're just going to go over how to navigate the course and how to get started with the week 1 activities. You may notice that the look of this course might be a little bit different from your actual course, but the things that I'm about to talk about are the same for each course. So just kind of keep that in mind as we go through this video. So of course, on the home page of the course, you'll see an important thing right here with the news announcements. There's a welcome announcement here right now for the first day of the class. And this is where I'll post announcements that I want the class to generally be aware of. I'm not big on emailing the entire class, so this is where you're going to want to look to find important announcements about the course. As part of the week 1 activities, you're going to set up notifications to where you can receive alert whenever a news announcement is posted. So you'll learn more about that in the week 1 activities, but it is very important to be aware of the news announcements and to know that important information will be posted there. To get started with the course, you'll want to go to content up here in the upper left-hand corner. So this course is organized into different modules. You access those modules by going to content. There's direct links to things like the Dropbox and the quizzes and the discussion areas up here at the top. If you wish to go directly to one of those things, you can. But the idea behind the course is that within each one of these modules, everything that you need to do is nestled. So if there's a discussion or if there's a Dropbox activity or if there's a link that you want to look at on the internet, anything like that, it's going to be nestled within these learning modules. We've got one for the start of the course that contains the course information and the week 1 activities. And then there'll be a new module here called learning content that's going to have each one of the main modules after week 1. So our big projects for the course, there'll be 3 or 4 of them nestled within several different modules that we'll do throughout the term in that learning content module. So important to know how to get started. Go to content here, and then there's a series of modules that you can navigate throughout on the left-hand side here using this menu. So with the Start Here module, starting with the Start Here module, you'll start by acknowledging the technology information disclaimer, and then the rest of the content for the Start Here module will unlock. A few different ways that you can navigate the course. You can obviously go here on the left-hand menu. There's also, whenever you click on a piece of content, so such as the course overview, there's this directory tree here at the top that you can use to navigate to different parts of the course, or you can use these arrows to go back and forth for each thing that's sequenced within the course. So important to keep in mind that the activities in this course are sequenced in a strategic way. One thing builds off of the last thing. So be sure that you're aware of that as you're working through these modules, and that's sort of the purpose of having the course organized and designed this way, is that you're kind of building up to each major assignment at the end of each unit. So you'll start here with an overview of what the course is all about, with information about the course objectives and the textbooks, and then we're going to keep on going to learn more about the syllabus and more specific course policies. You can look over the syllabus on your own, but it's going to contain information about how to contact me, where your final grade comes from, course policies like late submission and things like that, which I'll let you read over on your own. An important thing to keep in mind is if a link seems to not be working, first try a couple of things. One, so I embed Word documents into the modules so that you can see them and I can edit them really easily. A few things to keep in mind when it comes to working with these embedded Word documents. If you scroll here to the bottom, you can expand it into, and it'll open up in Word 365. You can also click on this button. There's a few buttons down here in the lower right-hand corner if you can't see that. There's another one here where you can either download a copy, things like that, or you can adjust the view of it right here. I like to adjust it to fit with the page width. It's a little bit easier to see. So keep that in mind when it comes to working with these documents. If you're having any trouble viewing those, please just send me an email, but it should work pretty well for everybody, especially if you keep in mind those viewing options and download options down here at the bottom to kind of make things a little bit easier for you. When you're scrolling through here, sometimes on my MacBook, it doesn't want to scroll. If I've got my mouse hovered over the middle, see, it doesn't scroll to the bottom. It just scrolls to the bottom of the document, but not more in the actual web page. So you want to make sure you move your mouse out of that area if you're experiencing that. Another thing that I want you to know about the schedule of activities here is that this is sort of the most important thing that you can look at to be aware of what you're supposed to be doing in the course. I'm going to try to put everything in the D2L calendar widget so that you get notifications on your phone or your email about those. But this is the most important thing to look at, be aware of, and to kind of know what you're supposed to be doing in the course. I'll have the rest of the schedule on here soon, but a few things to keep in mind. So week one, boot camp. So no real content kind of assignments, but just kind of getting yourself set up to succeed during the course of the semester. Again, I'm going to make one video like this for all of my courses. So there might be some of these things that you don't see, or either more or less in here in your own actual course. I don't have every course do every one of these things, but it's things that are along these lines. Making sure that you set up your notifications and that you can access your email. Thinking about doing an introductions kind of activity, doing things to set yourself up with any like tech that we might be using early in the course, such as hypothesis, but sort of the very basics of getting yourself set up to succeed in the course. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to the schedule is every time that I ask you to do something, it's going to say exactly where you should submit it. See where it says submit to Dropbox. And of course, if you go to the Dropbox, it's going to give you more information, but you're going to submit your evidence of these things to the Dropbox to get your grade for it. For your introduction, you're going to do that in the discussion. If you're an online class, fully online, you'll do it in the discussions. If we are on campus or virtual synchronous, we'll do it in class. But the key takeaway is that I'm going to say exactly where you need to send that stuff. I'm also going to say exactly how it incorporates into your grade. So graded for participation. It might say process work. So process work is a much bigger thing. It goes towards your major assignments, your big portfolio assignments for the semester. So those two things to keep in mind is each time it's going to say where it's supposed to be done. And then it's also going to say how it's going to incorporate into the final grade. So you can kind of use that as a key there. Sometimes we'll be using some tools that are outside of D2L. So for example, Hypothesis, the social annotation online tool, it might say something like annotate this reading in Hypothesis. So you'll want to use Hypothesis to read and annotate the document. And there'll be more instructions in the module about exactly how to do that. But again, it'll say where you're going to go to do that and complete that and get your grade for it. Another thing to keep in mind is on the left here, it'll say whatever week we're in and whatever module it is in. So the module will be labeled exactly like this. And then oftentimes there will be within that module label for each week as well. So if it says I'm supposed to do this in week 1, then I'm going to look for the start here module. I'm going to look where it says week 1. So pretty easy, right? Go to start here module. And then week 1 activities, just like it says in the schedule of activities. And then it's going to have my week 1 getting started activities right there. A couple more things that I want y'all to be aware of. Instructor information and policies. I'm not going to go over things like the final grading or the late policy or things like that in detail in this video. You can look at it on your own and send me any questions that you have about those. But I do want you to be aware of how to contact me. So here's a quick introduction about myself and then office hours. Especially if you're new to Midlands Tech or new to college in general, keep in mind that office hours are what's there to help you outside of class. We're only in class for, a little bit. If you're in person or virtual synchronous, only about 3 hours a week. And then online, we're not in class at the same time together, but basically, what I'm trying to let you know is that there's a lot more time that I'm available to help you explain assignments or to talk about your grades or to go over a draft of an assignment with you than there is that we have for class. So office hours are listed in the instructor information. And then also I'm available or open to meeting with you outside of those times as well. If you send me an email and say, hey, I can't really meet during office hours, but I can meet at 4:30 on Thursday. If I'm available at 4:30 on Thursday, I'll say, yeah, we can do that and meet. And then there's also a link here to schedule an appointment if you wish to schedule an office hours appointment. Appointments are not required, but they are encouraged. You can always, pop by my office in person at those times if you want to as well. But just scheduling an appointment lets me know that you want to have an office hours appointment, and it lets me know what you want to talk about during our appointment. And then other contact information like my email and phone number is there as well. So hopefully that is a good overview for you of the course, how to navigate things, how to access certain things in the course, and some of the most important places to go to look for important policies and information about the course. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I try to be very responsive to student emails, try to get back to you within 24 hours. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me, and I look forward to working with you throughout the course of the semester.